Tommy, just keep making your background noise and everything. Give me a second. I'm going to YouTube to make sure that we can hear you.
Yeah, hopefully we can. Shall I play some tracks and see if I can get you 10 copyright strikes?
You're funny. Your voice is coming through on the live.
Sweet.
That is exactly what we
Hello
wanted.
world.
So yeah.
And the question is, how do you add and remove people?
As far as adding and removing, I think I could do that through the app. I hope I can, because that'll make it easier. If I can't, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
I should still be able to do
The
it.
adding bits, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Should be able to
taking
do it on the
away,
PlayStation at the
that's...
very least.
Yeah, of course.
Alright.
Actually, do you want to try that? Do you want to try kicking me out and then I'll rejoin?
Or I
Or
could just kick
maybe
you
it's a
out
little
and
bit
that'd be
time.
good. I'm just kidding. Alright, hold on. Let me find the. Alright, parties. Give me just a sec. Alright.
I bought an HDMI splitter, but it doesn't remove the HDCP protection, so I had to order another one.
Oh. Don't you love when that
That way I
happens?
won't be able to stream the PS3 until that happens.
I know. It sucks when you have like mostly everything, and then but you have like one thing like that, like what you're talking about. Okay, so I don't think I can do it in the app. Let me try
No, I
doing
don't
it
think so.
from the PlayStation. Let's see. It might not let me because you started the party, but we'll see.
Do you want me to end this party? You start another one, but will you still be live? Yeah, you will still be live, won't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
I
you
can
can stay
stay.
for.
I'll be able to stay live. Just give me a minute. I'm just trying to see if there is a way. The party screen. Gives me the option to mute you. Um, Mute and then
Is that
view
a permanent mute?
profile. I think it's just a mute,
So
like.
muting means.
Oh, no, no, it's
Just
just
mute me
like
now and see if I
mute.
can.
Like I can mute you for the moment and unmute you, and I think you can unmute yourself too.
Right, do me a favor then. Mute me now.
All right.
See if I can unmute myself.
Okay. All right, Tommy, you're now muted. All right, so I'm assuming you are not able to unmute yourself.
So I think that's the next best thing, but that means that someone's still taking up a slot
Yeah,
if you don't want them there.
yeah, we don't. I'll look into it to see what the maximum amount of people is. I do know that you have the ability to leave the party. So I can just be like, hey, Tommy, just
You
see
can have a.
yourself out. Alright, hold on. Let me make sure that I'm still live. Yes, I am still live. What up, Martin Ramos?
Right, I did a quick Google search, and you can have 8 people or 8 players.
Oh, okay. So
That's
you can
enough.
have 8 people, which is okay. Like, 10. I wouldn't want any more than 10. 8 is still better than 6.
No, 10.
What up, Martin Ramos? What we are testing is, well, we already know it's successful that we have Tommy Temper. He's in a party with me on PlayStation. And what's awesome about that is Tommy's not actually on a PlayStation. He's on his phone. So so you're able to hear Tommy Temper, and this is a way that I want to start doing some lives. Oh, Tommy, by the way, I don't know if you ever seen Xavier, aka X to C. I've had him on my channel a couple times. He told me last
Sorry, who?
night. What was that?
Who? Sorry, Red? Who?
His name
Who
is Xavier. His channel name is X to C, and it's like XTIC.
Right.
And he told me last night that they are coming out with a boxing game next month. So yeah,
EA?
I don't. He said it's called esports boxing. So I don't think it's EA, but I'm definitely going to look into it. What was that?
There's no hype about it because I haven't heard anything.
I know I haven't
Give
heard
me the
anything
name again,
either.
please, Red?
Esports boxing.
I thought this was supposed to be a friendly race.
This is.
Oh, I'm on my work laptop and I can't get into these websites, so I'll do it on my personal.
Oh, yeah, they don't like you to do that.
You should be working.
Yeah, but yeah, we can definitely start doing the PlayStation thing.
Are you racing right now?
Yeah.
You show off.
How do you know?
You multi-tap. Because I just checked the stream.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the hell I'm doing because play.
Oh, no, you know what I should have said? She said look behind you.
Look behind you. Here's the thing though. I've never played this. Yeah, Martin, I plan on doing lives on the PlayStation. Not always. Like, it's gonna be something where, like, let's say if I run out of StreamYard hours, or I don't want to go into my StreamYard hours yet, I can do the live on PlayStation, and you don't have to have a PlayStation to join the party, though. To be on the panel, essentially. So it's just another avenue. Also, the PlayStation seems to run real smooth. If this boxing game that I heard about is real, then what we can do is, like, let's say, like the Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia fight, it's coming up. I can do a live where we discuss that fight. I put Errol Spence against Garcia, CPU versus CPU. We're discussing, we're doing the panel like normal, and at the end of the live, we could see, okay, who won when it was CPU versus CPU, and then see how accurate it was on fight night. I think that would be interesting to do, but the live itself wouldn't be commentating on the fight, on the game. We would really be talking just about, how we do already. What was that, Tommy?
Yeah, no, I was just agreeing with you. I think there would be spots where people will look at the game and go, "Oh, that was a nice piece of action."
Oh yeah, I don't mind that at all.
People, yeah, they're going to use that as a reflection, hopefully, that the the animation reflects real life.
Yeah, exactly. And like, let's say there's a knockout. You know, then I just restart it, and then we'll see if there's more than one. If there's some rematches during the course of the conversation, then we can just see who won the most, you know, and how they won. You know, was it UD? Was it
Nice moves.
Don't expect that to work.
the cutscenes in this are still loud as hell. Hold on, I heard you say that yesterday. How you can be on it without a PlayStation? Yeah, Nick Harmer is here now. What's up, Nick Harmer? Yeah, so
Yes,
I'm really excited about this. And then Tommy, I told you about that. Did I tell you about that game? It's called Talking Points.
You may have time again.
All right, so in Jackbox, I have a game called Talking Points. Like, and I haven't used it because really you need to have everybody who's playing needs to be on the panel, and because it requires like presentation. So I think that's a game that will actually be really good for the community. Hold on. Shit is a movie I haven't played. I think he meant the game. But so basically this is how you play Talking Points, all right? You do the same thing, you know, you go to that website, you put in the code, and then what happens is everybody who's playing, they put in like different topics. And that's what I like about it, because being that we're the boxing community, we could put like everybody can basically can throw a different topic in the hat. You know, Wilder's excuses, Adrian Broner, you know, getting arrested again, you know, the Errol Spence car crash, like that kind of thing. Then what it does is it will give you a prompt that somebody else created randomly. I think it's set up so you can't get your own prompt, and then it will create a PowerPoint presentation, but you have no idea what the pictures are or anything like that. And you're supposed to like make your talking points and relate the pictures. I think that'll be fun. And in fact, I'm kind of wanting to do like a fun, just for shits and giggles kind of debate with that. Like, get two people in there. They do the talking points, and it's like a debate. And then it works the same way at the end. Everybody votes. So like, if we start the game with the two people who are going against each other, all everybody else has to do is put in the code after the game already started, and they can vote. They can literally vote on who they think won, and it will display on the screen. So that's just an idea that I had. At the very least, it could be something that we could just play like how it's meant to be played, still using the boxing topics, you know.
Let me ask you a quick question. Now, this TV series is very, very old. I don't know if they did it in the States, but there was a series called Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that's what you're describing reminds me of.
Yeah,
Sort of like an
I'm
improv
familiar with Whose Line Is It Anyways. Yeah, we had an American version. You know, every time the UK comes out with a show, we gotta steal it. But yeah, I'm familiar with Whose Line Is It Anyways. I've seen the UK version, and the US version had I think it was Drew Carey was the host at the time. I don't know if you're familiar with Drew Carey.
You're talking about the best part of 30 years ago.
Oh wow. Yeah, our Whose Line Is It Anyways was more recent than 30 years ago. I would say it was maybe 15 years ago. Alright, hold on. Buddy, move.
Well, just like Shameless, you guys
Just a
stole
sec.
that as well.
my dog is being an attention whore, and then he stepped on my headphones, and it came out of my ear. That's why I like the gaming ones, because
Give that.
it's like an actual gaming headset, and right now I'm using earbuds.
So you just give that bitch a slap.
Yeah, but I'm definitely like excited about doing this, and then I'm gonna play around with it. Hold on, Nick Harmer. He says, whose line is it anyway? Was out in the 70s.
Oh, the 70s.
Yeah, in the UK.
I've got to ask Nick. Nick, how old are you, Nick, or what decade are you in?
The MOBC supports
I'm
anything
thinking you
Red
must be
does.
old like me.
Oh, Tommy, you're not old. Don't say that, because I'm trailing not too far behind you. So if you're old, then I'm getting there.
No, you're almost a decade behind me.
I just turned 35.
You're not even late 30s. You're not even late 30s, so you can shut that.
He said he's a 60s boy.
A 60s boy! Damn. I'm a 70s boy. I don't feel that old. Thanks, Nick.
So, you're as old as Whose Line Is It Anyways? This is Need for Speed Payback, Rasclot. I'm just putting it on to test, like, this was really just a test to see if the people in my party are able to be heard on the live. When I do this in the future, it's gonna be, I'm gonna, if they do come out with this boxing game, just as long as it's not complete and utter shit, I'll buy it, and we'll have that in the background. Yeah, Need for Payback, it does look good. Apple's like testing. Yeah, because Tommy Temper is on right now, and he's using his phone though, but he's still, y'all can still hear him, and I know that because I tested it. I went on my tablet and I was able to hear him. So, but that's the main thing I wanted to test. Like, can y'all hear anybody in the party, and if so, does that person have to be on a PlayStation, or can they do it from their phone? So Tommy's on his phone, you guys can hear him, and that's all we really need.
There's one caveat though, isn't there?
Yeah,
if you don't have. Oh, let me just do this first. Shout out to Russ Clark. Salute. If you don't have a console, you might need to validate your new account details the way I've done.
That's the one thing that we need to test is we need somebody to create a I mean, I guess technically I could do that. Like on my tablet, I could just create like a dummy account. And maybe I should have a dummy account anyways, just for that one person who just doesn't want to, there's always that one guy who doesn't, I don't want to create another profile. Okay, well today you're John Doe, So I could create a dummy account, verify the email, and see if on that dummy account I'm able to join the party. Because that's the thing, Tommy made, for those of y'all who were listening, Tommy made the account specifically just to test this. But then he wasn't able to do anything, so it's like, alright, we've run into a roadblock. And I went ahead and signed in on my console, but I wasn't able to verify. What was that?
You signed in as me. That's what
I signed in as Tommy. and then he was able to do the voice chat.
Yeah.
So at the very least, I mean, I could always sign into people's accounts, then delete it off my PlayStation. Because chances are, there's no harm in me signing into your account unless you really use your PlayStation ID, in which you don't need me to log into your account anyways, if that's the case.
Exactly. It's only if you don't have access to a console would you need to go down that route.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. We got some boxing talk going on. Roy was running like a bee and huffing and puffing like he didn't train. Mike was on some seek and destroy. Yeah, Mike was looking real sick. Did you watch the fight, Tommy?
I watched. I haven't watched the whole fight.
I haven't either. So that's. If they're gonna judge, they're gonna judge us both. But yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing. Go ahead.
I've got a question. What weight did Jones come in? What did Jones weigh at?
You know what? I don't know. I know that Tyson came in at like 220. Yeah, he did look fat. He looked pretty flabby.
And the way he moved as well. Nah, it's. And you know what, I thought about this. I thought to myself, why did he not trim down the fat? And I thought about it. So he had that extra cushioning around his midsection. And also
Fortune Valley, a gambler's paradise in the desert.
Give me just a second.
You can buy anything here,
right now,
even luck. Let the rich play with cards and dice.
I don't
Those
know
of
why
us
they have
born
it
in the
like
shadow
that.
of the
If I
casinos,
turn down the volume,
we take
why
our
does
chances at 100 miles an hour.
It turned down the volume in the gameplay, but it didn't do anything for the volume in the cutscene. So like all
Everyone
of a sudden the cutscene came on.
Jess?
Oh, I think it's almost over.
circuit.
Yeah, but sometimes the cutscenes are, by default, they're set to a louder volume. That could be what it is.
I'm gonna see if there's a way to, and then you can't skip, or I was able to skip the very last one, but the other ones I haven't been able to skip. There's got to be a way to do something about that.
What are you trying to skip?
The cutscenes. Because if I can skip the cutscenes, then the fact that they're loud,
do you know why you can't skip them? It's because it's the first time you played the game. Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I got this for free, so is that literally the first time I've even turned it on. For guys in their 50s, they look great to me. Okay, so they're just talking about how they feel they look. Roy Jones, though, I expected.
But I'll say this though. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I've been rambling, so you're good.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing though. Even the thing is, I actually tried to stay awake for the fight, but I couldn't. I was just too exhausted. But when I was watching it, even though I knew the result, I still had this sort of butterflies in my stomach, and I haven't had that kind of sensation from boxing in a long time. And even though those guys are old, there's still a fascination with them. And I think that seniors tournament that they're going to do, I think it's a half decent idea.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So, yeah, I think Shannon Briggs, whoever else, should definitely make an appearance.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot better than these YouTube fights. Like, and you know what? I love that Tyson came in wearing the old school black trunks, black shoes. You know, he gave the fans what they wanted.
Yep, he did. He looked strong as well.
Yeah, he was fast. Like, and you saw like.
Oh, quick question: did anybody pick up on Tyson's grunting when he punched? Listen to it again, right? And see, his grunts are so fucking loud, right? If you were in that ring and someone was swinging at you with that kind of power and that kind of grunt, trust me, you'd shit your pants.
I gotta go. I really gotta watch the whole thing, but I kind of sped through it a little bit because at the time I didn't have a whole lot of time. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the whole thing when I get a chance. I did the same thing with Joyce and Dubois. I checked out for that one. I checked out some highlights. What?
That fight was so hard to watch. The first couple of rounds, I thought to myself, have these guys been spiked with ketamine? Because they were so uncoordinated. It was like they regressed instead of progressing. It's like they went back 5 years in time. And I put it largely down to nerves because both guys had stepped up. But I was thinking to myself, put me in their body and let me have a go at that. That's what I was thinking. Obviously that's your ego talking, isn't it? I can do better than those two dickheads.
I hear what you're saying though. Like that was just funny though. Let me have a go at it. Fuck these guys. Yeah, but I think you're right though. I think because that's exactly what I was gonna say. Don't you think it's probably their nerves? Like it was a big step up for the both of them. So I think that's what it was. I think especially because with Joyce, it did seem like he was a lot more coordinated later. And like it was like he got the butterflies out of his stomach, and it definitely showed because I mean, look at how the fight ended. And my understanding is that he broke his orbital bone, and like I really expected Dubois to win that fight. I'm eating crow.
Me too.
But
yeah, me too. I've been hyping him up for a couple of years now, to be honest, Dubois.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I feel like a dickhead now.
Well, I mean, you can never tell. You can never tell. What up, Charles? Charles was talking about the slow motion because I had two cops. That was actually pretty sweet, Tommy. Like, if you're into that kind of thing, I had two cops chasing me, and I got them to crash into each other, and it showed in slow motion. So, all right, back to the boxing talk. Let me stop stroking my ego on this game that I probably really suck at.
Oh, you're talking about the game? I thought you were talking about real life. I was like, what?
No, on the Need for Speed.
Oh, so you haven't turned gangster?
Nah, I ain't never gonna try no police like that unless they try me first. And even then, I might not because they got a gun. but anyways, back to Dubois and Joyce. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm not looking forward to the early.
Oh, have you not seen it?
I've seen highlights.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to watch, and all I kept on thinking was, you guys in America, when you see this fight, you're probably gonna think the Brits haven't got a fucking Scooby-Doo about boxing. That's all I kept on thinking, is how does this look to them who are across the pond, who are supposed to be more educated when it comes to boxing? I'm thinking, nah, it's gonna look like we're fucking clowns. Anyway.
See, I don't see it that way though, cause. But then again, I know what you're saying because, like, you listen to a lot of the loud. When I say loud, I don't mean they talk loud. I mean they make their voice heard. Like they're the vocal minority. When you hear a lot of the Americans, they say stuff like, "Oh, so and so is just a Euro bum, and it could be an undefeated, uh, champion who has beat other champions, but because that American has never heard of him or the people he's fought, he doesn't say, okay, I need to learn a little bit more about these guys across the pond. No, they rather just say, oh no, these are all bums, all of them. Oh, he was
Yeah,
Charles was talking about the fight with slow motion, not okay.
Yeah, the fight was. It was. I swear to you, I honestly thought it was like they'd been spike cutting him. They just lost their coordination. It was terrible.
Well, the reality is that they are both prospects, also. So
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah, but
who
prospects.
uses their
Yeah,
brain.
hold on, Red. To call someone a prospect is one thing, but without giving context to their history. I mean, one of these guys is an Olympian, am I right? Or competed in the Olympics.
Dubois, right?
I think so, yeah. So you would think that he would be a bit more coordinated than he is, or he would. I actually thought his last fights he showed better skills, better coordination. Anyway, I'll stop breaking his balls.
No. Well, here's the thing, though. Like, I hear you. Like, I'm not saying that the Olympian thing doesn't count, because it definitely does. But you also have to keep in mind, amateur boxing is different. Like, a lot of people, they talk about, like, they say that Dillian White knocked out AJ. A lot of people like to bring that up, that he knocked them out in their amateur fight. I watched that fight.
No, he didn't. He knocked him down, not out.
Well, a lot of those knockdowns, I didn't actually, if I remember correctly, I don't think AJ actually went down. It was like there was action going on.
I think there was 2 times we hit the canvas, and I think there was one time was legit, the other time I think was a push, but I haven't seen that fight for years.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it, but I remember, like, there was times where there was action going on, and all of a sudden, they were counting something as a knockdown, but I don't remember seeing AJ going down. I'm not saying that was every time, but I'm just saying I remember that happening at least once. And I think that's just because what constitutes a knockdown is not necessarily the same in amateurs as it is in professional. So
I would assume it would be very similar.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't actually know, so well, if any part of your body touches the canvas, that's a knockdown. And I think that applies amateur and professional.
yeah, it could be. I'm not well versed on the amateurs.
Mark would know this, or even Tiny.
Yeah. Well, Mark knows a lot. Shout out to Mark. He joined my panel yesterday, right when I was ending it. I felt bad. He had just got added, but my phone was dying. Like, I would have definitely stayed on for at least another 20 minutes to conversate with Mark, but my phone wasn't gonna happen. Like, that live was ending whether I wanted it to or not. So
were you out and about?
no, I was home, but my tablet was also dying. So it wouldn't have made any sense to switch to the tablet. Cause then I was gonna be in the same situation like 2 minutes later. So, and Silver, I don't know if you saw that.
You're saying?
I was just gonna say, and Silver, I don't know how you say the second part of his name. He jumped on. He said he was gonna be back in 15 minutes, and he never came back. And that was like near the beginning. He was like the first one to join my panel. But I understand something could have came up. Hold on.
So, quick question for you. If I'm on a PS3, can I still chat with you on the PS4 through the console?
I'm not sure. You might be able to. I'm not sure. That could be something that we test. I know there's some things you have to do with that PS3 before we can test that.
Before I sign it in.
Yeah. But we could definitely give that a test. You know,
but I think it would only apply to communication and nothing else.
Oh yeah. But I mean, if it does, because you can't go live on a PlayStation 3 on its own. You know you can go live on it. You just have to have extra equipment to do it. Real quick question. I don't know if you know this. If you don't, that's fine. But just because Jay Cotto asked me yesterday, he wants to know if he is able to go live on an Oculus. I told him I don't.
Sorry?
An Oculus.
Is that the headset?
Yeah, that's the VR.
What is? Oh, I've only ever put one of those on once, so I don't actually know much about them.
Okay.
What is it that he wants to do specifically?
Oh, because he has like some kind of Darth Vader thing on there, and he wants to stream it. I told him I don't know if he can go live directly from the Oculus. He might be able to, but because I don't have one, I don't have. I really haven't.
You'll need. I think you need a capture card for that.
Yeah, I told him that. I
You need
said.
an Elgato.
I told him, you know, at the very least, you should be able to. You have to get a capture card, and then also you have to hook the capture card up to your computer or laptop, and then connect those to the Oculus if that's the case. So, because I was telling them on the Xbox, you can't stream, because I have an Xbox as well. You can't stream to YouTube directly. If I wanted to stream. No, you can't. Not like you can on the PlayStation. I probably would have gave that a try a long time ago, but it doesn't. And I even checked the capability recently. You can't.
Yeah, but hold on a minute. Let me query that. You know, Big Boy's Boxing.
Yes.
He streams his Xbox. What?
He's probably doing the capture card.
I haven't actually asked him how he does it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Like, you can stream Xbox gameplay, but you can't do it, like, right now, the stream that we're doing, I'm doing it. I don't have my PlayStation hooked up to anything else. I simply turn on the PlayStation, I get into a game, because like I said, PlayStation is not going to allow you to go live.
Say you pull up next to a real sweet
from the
ride.
dashboard.
What do you think?
Or from a
How much does it
different.
cost?
If I go into the
How fast can
YouTube
you hit
app, it's
100?
not going to let me broadcast.
I
If I
tell
go
you
into
what I
Netflix,
see.
it's not going to let me broadcast. But if I go into
I see potential.
any game,
I see the knife's edge of control.
then it'll give
that
me the
split
ability
second where I put
to
everything on the
broadcast.
line. I see myself winning it all.
But on the Xbox,
Okay, so to answer your question,
yeah.
it'd be
right
yeah, it'll be a capture card as long as it's HDMI. As long as he turns off HDCP, he won't have a problem.
yeah. Oh, so you looked it up for the Oculus?
Oh, I haven't actually, but
Oh, I thought that's what you checked.
no, I was just doing the mental. Hold on.
Oh, you don't have to look it up. I just thought that's what you did. I could, to be honest, I can actually do that. It's up to you.
Yeah, you can do it. There's videos up on YouTube on how to do it. So
okay.
there is a way.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, he should be the capture card would be the way to go. But I don't know. There might be a way that he can do it directly too.
That'd be awesome. Actually, if he could. So what's it going to stream? What he sees when he wears the headset?
Yeah, he's gonna stream what he sees. Now, one thing I will say is because I've watched streams where people are using VR. It's tricky because you got to remember the person who is streaming is wearing a VR headset. They cannot see the chat. Now, what you can do is use a text-to-speech program, because then the text-to-speech, as long as it's feeding into your audio, you'll like, so let's say I say, "What up, Jay Cotto?" You know, while he's live on his VR, he's gonna, the text-to-speech will kick in and say, "Red Glove Militant said, hey, Jay Cotto, what's up?" or whatever it is that I said. So that's a way around it, because then he'll hear what people are saying, and he can respond. But Tommy, we've discussed this, because I have the ability to do text-to-speech from the PlayStation. You always now you run the risk of people, people typing obscenities, and then the text-to-speech is, before you know it, you have a lot of words that you never intended to be on your live. Rascot said that the PS3 is still his favorite console. That's what's
I love
up.
the PS3.
Yeah,
only for certain games though.
Here's the thing,
Actually, let me put this out there, a quick one. Guys, I've got, I think I've got version 4.66, and I'm trying to put henna on it. If anybody knows how to do it, I've done the YouTube videos, but I can't get it to work. I'll even pay for it if anybody wants to do it for me. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's all good. That's all good. It's called henna.
No, it's called hen. H-E-N.
Oh, it sounds like
There's
you
a
said
dex
henna.
and a hen. I want to do. Nah, I was probably speaking too fast.
Yeah, that'll be really cool once you get that kicked off, because
Oh yeah.
because you're gonna do Fight Night Round 3 on the PS3, right?
I am. And I'm going to do in the ring mode as well as the regular mode, but in the ring, oh my god, that thing looks sexy as well. And it runs really good, really good. I mean, it's close to 60 frames a second inside the ring.
And that's the is that like the first person?
Yes.
Okay. Because you also have the ability to do it like the old school way, where it's like, you see the boxes.
Basically, the difference between the 360 and the PS3 version was better graphics, and they added get in the ring mode, so as you just said, Red, first person perspective, and that's hard, really hard. It's good fun.
What would you be streaming when you do it? I think you would have to do it in regular mode, because I think you would have an unfair advantage if you were doing it in the ring.
Sorry, repeat that again?
I think if you're playing against people on, I mean, it's an unfair advantage anyways, if it's me, because I've never played Fight Night Round 3, so you're going to whoop my ass regardless of what mode we're playing in. But, I would assume you would be doing it in regular mode, because, wouldn't the person
here's my thought process on this. People will need to play this game regularly, even before they do get in the ring mode, because it's quite an advanced jump. So I'm hoping, give it enough time, it'll catch fire. And also, I have got the technology ordered so that people will be able to remotely connect to my laptop, which will be connected to my PS3, and actually remote play. But they won't be seeing the YouTube image because it'll be like 5 seconds delay. They'll actually see an image of my PS3, which will go through an Elgato capture card being streamed through what's called the Parsec. And the delay from the client to the person who's connecting is minuscule. So I'm hoping that people won't even notice the lag on it. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Man,
Lots of testing to do still.
I still think it's crazy that when I do streams on my laptop, the frames drop like crazy, and like those games are not very graphical, like, you know, they're not graphically intense. But then I put on Need for Speed Payback, which looks beautiful, and it on the PlayStation, I'm streaming it, and it streams like a dream, like so smooth. So I really think it's my laptop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then this is the PlayStation 4 Pro, which just so y'all know, as far as the Pro is concerned, it plays all the games that are not exclusive, like or all the games that are made for the PlayStation 4, if you play them on the PlayStation 5, don't really look better than if you were to play them on a Pro. The only difference is where a Pro might drop frames because of the action. The 5 will be able to handle it better. I don't know that number, so I'm not answering it.
But I will say this: I thought the jump between the PS3 and the PS4 was minor. I wasn't exactly blown away by the generational jump, and to be honest, I actually still think there's games on the PS3 that give the PS4 a very good run for its money. You look at The Last of Us, Uncharted series. There's not that really much of a great difference on the PS4. Alright, fair enough, the frame rate's higher and it's maybe a slightly higher resolution, but to me, that doesn't sound like a generational jump. It sounds like a mid-generation upgrade.
I hear you. Maybe if you saw that on a PlayStation Pro, the PlayStation 4 Pro, you would feel a little bit differently, but that's not what was released originally, though.
Yeah, but I mean, my ex's son, he's got an Xbox One X, which is like,
yeah, that's the Xbox version
of
of
that
the
generation.
Pro.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, it looks good, it looks sexy, but it's not exactly groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's not.
It just does everything much better than the previous generation before. But does it do anything really new that you have to read up about rather than seeing it for yourself? Sorry, I'm being a bit negative right now.
No, you're good, Tommy. Sorry, I was also reading the chat a little bit. That's why I kind of paused there. But no, you're right. And to be honest, Tommy, I think the days of groundbreaking jumps in generation, I think those days are long gone. I don't see how
I don't think that's right. I'll tell you why. I watched a documentary a few nights ago. It was all about computing, and they were comparing the power of the laptop, comparing the power of the phone to the desktop. And even though they use like a different chipset, the phone will be the way forward in terms of the type of chips that they use. They were comparing, I think it was Apple's flagship it was their phones. I think it was their Apple phones, and it was keeping up with the modern day desktops.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it uses a fraction of power. So the technology that we use in our computers and our laptops, it's wouldn't say obsolete, but it's not suited for the purpose that what it was intended for.
Yeah. That brings up a very good point, because that if everything switches to mobile, or at the very least the mobile chipset. Because think about it, we could still use a laptop or desktop, but what if it's built around the mobile chipset? Well, now you got that very efficient chipset, but you're still working off of a desktop or a laptop. See what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
you know, I want to see this. You said it's a documentary.
Yeah, I actually sent it to you, believe it or not.
All right.
It's in
It's one of
Hangouts.
those recent ones you sent me.
Yeah, it might have been yesterday or the day before.
All right. Yeah, 'cause I started looking at one of them, but it wasn't that one. It was like, I think it was like titled "How They Got Away with It" or something like that. Haplo said, "I wish I still had a ColecoVision." Haplo, you should be able to. I'm sure you can get that on your phone. I guess it's not the same though, because you're not
What
gonna
is
have
that?
the
It sounds
same
familiar.
controls, huh?
Sounds like a ColecoVision. What is that?
It's before Atari. It's the one that it's like
Right.
yeah, I think it
I was
only
thinking
had
Neo
like
Geo sort of
one
thing.
game built into it, and it was the I guess it's called Pong. You know, where you have the two bars on the side. One, like, it's two-player game. You use like a little dial to move it up and down.
Yeah, I
And
know.
there's a ball.
I played Pong. I am not old.
Well, I just didn't know if it was called something different in the UK or what. Because, like, remember the other day
I think we
I
call it
mentioned
ping.
Red. Huh?
No, I'm joking.
Oh,
I said we call it ping, but I was just fucking you in it.
yeah. But no, like, remember the other day I mentioned Redbox? You're like, I'm not sure what that is. I'm like, oh, y'all don't have that in the UK. In fact, from when I was explaining it to you, it kind of sounds like y'all don't even have.
Hold on, is that an APK?
What are you talking about?
Is Redbox an APK? Is that what you're talking about?
What's an APK?
It's like an app you download, but not an official app. That's what they call APKs.
Oh no, Redbox is. Remember, it's what I told you about. It's the kiosk where you can rent the DVDs and the Blu-rays.
Oh yeah, like Love Film used to be.
Yeah. So, and I remember I told you, oh, I found out that Redbox was originally started by McDonald's, and you're like, I don't know what that is. Like, you know what McDonald's is, but you don't know what Redbox is. I'm like, okay, I guess y'all don't have that in the UK. But yeah, Redbox was started by McDonald's, for anybody listening. I used to think that it was just another revenue stream for Netflix. But yeah, it was started by McDonald's. Yeah, Rascalot, the Redbox was a game changer for a lot of people. Like, I remember one day I went into work, and one of my coworkers was like, she's like, oh damn, I forgot to return that movie. I'm like, where do you rent movies from anymore? Like and there was still some Blockbusters, but they were on their last legs at that point. And I'm like, you still go to Blockbuster? And they're kind of hard to find. I hope you're living there one. And she's like, no, I don't. I don't rent movies from Blockbuster. I rent movies from Redbox. I'm like, what the hell is a Redbox? So then she explained it to me. I'm like, all right, I'll keep an eye out. And then now when you go to damn near any pharmacy, a lot of gas stations, most grocery stores, they got a Redbox at every entrance and exit. Um, so and then like some of the frozen foods, like I think it's called like Tony's Pizza or something like that. It's like a frozen pizza that you put in the microwave or in the whatchamacallit, or in the oven or whatever. A lot of times those came with codes, so like that was their way of enticing you to buy their frozen pizza. You buy it, and then somewhere printed on the inside of the box was a code. You could go to the Red Box, put in that code, and you get a free movie. They're like, one free movie on us, and like you had to return it by a certain time the next day in order for it to be free, but still, like, because then after that, Redbox starts charging you like $1 a day or something like that.
I just typed your name into Google and your channel comes straight up, so that's a good sign.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
I'm not banned to the Shadow Realm anymore.
It would appear not. Ooh, I'm just watching your stream now, actually.
Does it look smooth?
I'm gonna be back. Actually, let me bump up the resolution. Oh, I'm already at 1080p. Can you go any faster?
Talking about my car?
Yeah.
No.
Test the frame rate. Stevie Wonder in the driving seat.
Well, I'm also looking at the chat. Huh?
Right, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? It looks like it looks like it's slightly better than the PS3 version.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that because I like PS3. What I'm saying is it must be the quality of the stream itself. It could look better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a very strong internet connection, and yeah, I think it's your stream settings. There's got to be a way you can make it look sharper and smoother than that. Does it give you an option to tweak stuff?
It does, and to be honest, I haven't played with that.
Right, I'll watch a couple of videos on it then.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll probably do is after I end this stream, I'll go and take a look.
How come I don't get the game audio at all? Did you turn it all the way down?
No, I turned it. I didn't turn it all the way down. You're not getting any of the game audio?
Oh no, sorry, my bad. No, sorry. I forgot I muted it. That way I wouldn't hear myself. I'm such an idiot.
It happens to the best of us.
No, it's decent. It is decent.
Yeah, what I need to do is get GTA 5 and show what a dick I am in that game.
Yes. Yes, you do.
It's too easy to be a jerk in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like like it I have it on the Xbox, and I don't play it often because then my girlfriend starts giving me the side eye. I'm like, it's just a game. It's not like I would actually do this in real life. But yeah.
What are you driving off? Is that a Honda?
I have no idea. This is like, I guess I got past the beginning part. And
so
I'm
you
just
got
like
some
in
speed up
free
car.
roam, yeah. So I'm just driving around, but this is the car that you I guess you free roam with it. And I guess technically I could go and get into a race and stuff, but I don't want to kick off another cutscene and then like be like, okay, Tommy, hold on a second, because I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
hear
yeah.
you. Because the cutscenes are loud. They're really loud.
Is there a way so I could hear the game audio through our chat?
I don't know.
Is that makes
I don't think so, but that's worth
No.
looking into. But I doubt
Have you
it.
got any music on your? You
Do
got
I have
any music
music?
on your hard drive?
I don't. I don't even know if you could put music
Oh,
on.
then again, you're
Hmm?
Yeah, you couldn't have PS3 and the Xbox 360, so I wouldn't see why you couldn't.
Tommy, they take away features all the time. I'm just being honest. Have you watched any of Nordic Warriors gaming videos?
Is it on a separate channel?
Most of it is, but there's still plenty on his main channel, on his boxing channel.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
And he did a rant about how one day he goes to play, because where he lives, I guess there's not really good internet. What?
That was tight.
Oh.
You just sandwiched between those two cars.
Oh. But he
That'd be good in the replay.
he went to go play one of the Hitman games, and he didn't have internet.
Yes,
He didn't have internet, and it was a Hitman game from the Xbox 360. Okay, now you can play it, but because he didn't have an internet connection, it wouldn't let him. Said he had to be connected to the internet. So
What? On the 360?
no, on the Xbox One, he was trying to play a 360 version of Hitman, and it wouldn't let him. And that's what I'm saying. Like, technically, you should be able to do everything you've done in the past and more, you know. But that's not always the case. Like, think about it. The iterations of like the later iterations of the PS3, they took away backwards compatibility with the PS2.
Yeah, but there was a reason for that. It was just to save cost.
I get it, but still, like,
Because but hold on a minute. The reason why the original PS3 was backwards compatible is because it had a PS2 inside it.
oh, okay.
So they actually put all the chips of the PS2. Yeah. And
So to save
eventually,
money,
later
they
on,
omitted them.
They omitted the chipset. Now, however, later on down the line, I heard that there is a PS2 emulator that the PS4 is actually using. Did you know that? If you play a PS2 game on your PS4, you're actually using an emulator on your PS4.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me. But it kind of makes sense, because that means that's gonna keep the cost down, because they're not putting in those chips.
Yeah. And emulation is the way to go now when it comes to backwards compatibility.
Yeah. Well, I mean, essentially, they're trying to go full emulation. I mean, if you think about it, going 100% digital, that's kind of just emulation. Well, no, I guess not. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. maybe I should stay in my lane. Which is funny, because as I said I should stay in my lane, I was driving like in two lanes at once. Right now I'm just fucking around. Huh?
That was a cheesy line.
Yeah.
You know the what is it? The Xbox One Series S or X or whatever it's called. Apparently, that thing is the best emulator that's out at the minute.
Really? So
If you want to get if you want to get anything that emulates better than that, you'll have to pay like triple. You know, you'll have to pay four figures.
wow.
So for the money, I actually sent you that video as well. So you've got a few videos to watch.
That's crazy. It doesn't surprise me though, because the Xbox One X, not the series, but like the One X, up until these new consoles came out, was the most powerful console
Yeah.
out. You know, the 4 Pro is not as powerful as the One X.
But is the Pro actually really 4K?
What, the PS4 Pro?
Yeah.
It's 4K, but it's not. See, to me, this shit sounds like extra nerdy. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm into the tech stuff, but when I start hearing shit like what I'm about to say, to me, it really kind of irks me. It's not true 4K. It's not native 4K. To me, I don't give a shit if it's native or not. I guess it does something that's called checkerboarding. I forget what the term means,
Yeah.
you're familiar with that?
I think I know what it means. I am. Okay, let's go back a couple of generations, right? See, before anybody had a 1080p TV, the best resolution you could get was 720p. But there's something called the I. And people always get confused between the I. The I stands for interlaced, right? And interlaced, I think it's similar to what they do with checkerboarding. It's they flash half an image real fast, and then the other half, something like that. They do it alternatively, so it takes up less bandwidth, less memory, all that sort of crap. But interlaced is not a proper image. It's just that your eyes get tricked. That makes sense? But you'll notice it more when you get fast moving things like in sports games or action, that sort of thing. If you're looking at still images, you probably wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference, if any. So to me, that's basically what they've done. They've done the interlaced sort of route rather than doing the progressive scan, the consistent method, which takes up more horsepower. So they've tried to do something on the cheap.
Okay.
To be honest, there's not that much difference between the Pro.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at it. The one is smoother. I mean, I've seen what's that game, Fortnite, and I've never seen slowdown once in that game. And there's always been a lot of action, and the depth of field in Fortnite is amazing.
Are you saying, and you're talking about on the One X?
On the one, yes, the One X.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when I was watching it, it was only on an HD TV. It wasn't even on a 4K TV, and it still looked amazing.
Oh yeah. On my One X, one of the games that I play with my girlfriend, I don't even put it on 4K. And I have a 4K TV. I actually have a Samsung 4K TV. And I don't, that particular game, I don't play it on 4K because one, it gives me the option to do 4K or 1080p, but I keep it on 1080p because it not only is it 1080p, but it's 60 frames per second, and it plays really nice, like really nice.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm on 4K, it tends to stutter. It's 30 frames per second. So yeah, like if it gives me the option to play a smoother version, even though the resolution isn't as high, I turn down the resolution because it plays so much better.
Hmm. Well, here's another interesting topic. Right, what generation do you think it was that actually brought out high definition graphics?
Um, I think it was the like 360 PS3. Unless
Uh,
unless you want to count the PS2 with
you'd
the
be right.
mhm.
Go on. PS2 with the.
Because I know the PS2 there was a cord you could buy for it that did I forget it was called like S video, and it was a higher resolution.
Oh, that's 576p. That's what that is.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
that
not.
gives you.
I knew it wasn't gonna be like high definition,
It's
but it
halfway
was.
between DVD, halfway between 720p.
Yeah.
DVD standard is 480p, so it's 576. Close but no cigar. It was the original Xbox.
Really?
The original Xbox could do 720p and 1080i on some games, on a handful of games. And actually, you brought it up earlier, but I thought I didn't finish the story. There's a game called Hitman, I'm not sure which Hitman, on the original Xbox, and that ran at 720p. But you had to have a high definition TV back then, and they were really expensive.
Yeah, and you probably had to have like a particular cord too, because I know with the S video.
And it
you
was
had-
the VGA, the three, the colors.
Oh, okay. So that's what you
Red.
use?
Yeah. Because
Oh, okay.
HDMI was not a standard back then. The HDMI connection, that is.
Well, I know with that S video, it wasn't an HDMI. It was, but it also wasn't the cords that it came with. Like, I remember it was one of the Tekken games. I don't remember which one it was,
Mm-hmm.
but I was messing around in the settings, and it had a setting for S video, and it was like, this setting is it like told you, it gave you like a whole disclaimer, like in order to use this setting you need to have a TV that supports it, you have to have the right cords and all this stuff. And then if you turned it on, I'm assuming you had like a button you could press to keep it. But in order to see that screen, you had to have all the proper equipment. Because I didn't, the screen would just turn black, and then after 15 seconds or so, it would come back on its original, quality or resolution, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, quick question for the sake of your viewers: are you running to or from the border?
Ah, you're funny. I have no idea where this probably takes place in some fictional place, like a lot of these games tend to do. I'll tell you what, though. I don't know if you ever played Grand Theft Auto 5, but Grand Theft Auto 5, the way that they did Los Santos, or whatever you want to call it, is very similar to real LA and the surrounding areas. So, which doesn't surprise me, because Liberty City in Grand Theft Auto 4 was actually very similar to the real New York.
Right. Well, let me continue talking about the resolution. Then. So that generation was the GameCube, the PS2, and obviously the original Xbox. And none of those consoles could do. I think the PS2 could do widescreen in certain games, but I think that was about it. And the GameCube was stuck at 4x3. So then you had the next generation, and they all had HD graphics. However, none of them were natively 1080p.
Oh,
Not
really?
any of the consoles. Yeah. So effectively, that generation was the 720p generation, as in native. That's the key,
Yeah.
native. Then we move on to the next generation. So we're talking about the Xbox One, the PS4, and if you remember the Jesus Christ, Red. Oh, I keep on forgetting what I'm watching is the delay, so if I'm criticizing your driving, it's probably about 5 seconds behind, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, and then the first version of the Xbox One, the first Forza game on that. Do you know what the resolution of that was?
What was it?
900p.
So that
So they
wasn't
weren't
even 1080p?
doing- Exactly. So to me, that's why I criticized that generation. Because I thought to myself, between, say, the PS2 and the PS3, there was a massive jump. Massive. To me, it was like a jump between the PS1 and PS2, and it was similar between the PS2 and the PS3, right? But the PS3 to PS4, nah, it was just like someone just got a better CPU and a slightly better graphics card, and that's it.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that because that's when you started, in the PS3 generation, that's when you started seeing, like, the sweat.
Big changes.
Yeah, the sweat and and not only that, just forget the sweat, like the actual player models and stuff looked a lot better just even without those little details. But then when you add the sweat and like the rain effects and things like that, it all came together very well. And yeah, I agree, the jump seemed a lot more meaningful.
Significant, yeah. I mean, there's certain games there's a lot of games that look better on the 360, but that's mainly because they were all ported to the PS3. Any game that wasn't a port on the PS3 looked fantastic. Well, generally speaking, they did look fantastic. And there's quite a difference between Fight Night Round 3 on the 360 and the PS3. For example, on the 360, Fight Night runs at 1080p. On the PS3, it runs at 720p. However, the animations, the lighting, the colors, the textures are on another level on the PS3. Even the crowd looks better. So it'll be quite interesting to do a comparison with that. And I've got it on a half decent monitor. It looks not gonna lie, Red, seeing first person mode, it looks so sexy. It really does. Ross Scott says my kids play in the front of my house, but I'm in a I don't know, what's that word?
Cul-de-sac.
Oh, you're driving. Oh, cul-de-sac.
Yeah, cul-de-sac.
It's a dead end, isn't it?
Kind of. It's like a dead end. But at the
when I say dead end, not a through road. It's a non-through road.
Yeah, because at the end on the cul-de-sac, at the dead end, you have like this little circle. Usually, it's like a circle at the end, and then you have houses that run along the whole circle. So, yeah, if you ever seen F is for Family, that house is on a cul-de-sac. Have you ever seen that show? Oh, that show is funny. It's a Netflix original. I don't know if they have it on Netflix in the UK, because my understanding is that all the stuff is different. But it is a Netflix original, so I don't see why they wouldn't be able to put it on in the UK. But it's a pretty funny show. But yeah, the family on that show lives on a cul-de-sac. Alright, yes, it's a circle, but the downside is the fucking train run behind us and are loud as fuck. Oh, that does suck. That's probably why they did the cul-de-sac there.
Station.
They're like, well, we can't put this road any further. Let's put a nice cul-de-sac here. I'm sure the residents will love the ambient noise. Yeah. Most cul-de-sacs, from my experience, most cul-de-sacs are like in a subdivision, and just the way that the subdivision is set up, the road can't continue. Because if it does, it's gonna go right through somebody's living room. So they just put a cul-de-sac, and they'll, try, because then they could build more houses that way. Because my mom lives on a dead end, and I could tell you right now, if there was a cul-de-sac there instead of like a regular dead end, there would be like 3 or 4 more, depending on how big they did the cul-de-sac, 3 or 4 more houses there. So it's definitely opportunity to make more money. Oh, it just told me there's a speed trap.
Why? What happens if you go through that speed?
I have no idea. Right now, I'm driving on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, I was waiting to ask you, why did you do U-turn about 30 seconds ago or 45?
Oh, because I thought I wanted to see if I could go somewhere, and I couldn't. I really wish I could get out of the car, but this is just not that type of game.
So what's the resolution? What resolution are you running that at?
On my TV is 4K with the checkerboard.
Right.
On the stream,
What's
I know
the
it's
stream?
set at, it says standard. A player invited you to a community. Oh, I think that's for Call of Duty. But I think it said 1080p standard for the stream though.
I think you should try 720p next time.
You think it'll look better?
Just to see. I don't know, it'll depend on your internet connection. The thing is, I don't know how many settings you've got to play with.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna look at it as soon as we get off. But yeah, really, I would say that this was a success though, because
For sure.
you being on the phone, and I want to see if there's a way for me to turn up the volume on the voices. But at the very least, I mean, it's not like you're not audible. Like, we can hear you. I think that the voices could.
Well,
be
if
a
you get your
little louder.
laptop fixed, you could run this through OBS.
Yeah, but see,
And
here's
then
the
that way
thing,
you'd be able to control, but...
Yeah, but I need a better laptop for that, because if I do that, I have a feeling it's gonna be the same old problem if I'm using the laptop that I have now.
Yeah, but you'd be
which is-
streaming, the PS4 is doing all the work, not your laptop. All the laptop is doing is streaming out an image that it's not producing to the internet. Largely, that is.
Okay.
You might have like a border on it, or you might have, you know what I'm trying to say. It's going to, because that's effectively what I'm trying to do as well.
Yeah.
But obviously you're doing it with a PS4, but it doesn't matter. Something else is doing the donkey work.
The donkey word. Oh man, and Grasscloud was talking about how the quarantine sucks, and yes it does, and I don't know if it's true,
It is.
but I'm hearing that, because Florida's pretty open, like, we like we don't necessarily even have to wear masks anymore. But technically you do, just because it's up to the establishment, and most places are requiring you to wear a mask. So even though the state of Florida is not mandating that you wear a mask, like I saw a guy try to go into Walmart the other day, and it made no sense to me because his daughter had a mask, his wife had a mask, he didn't have a mask. But they wouldn't let him in. So, you know, unless more businesses are willing to let you go in without a mask, you pretty much still have to wear a mask here. But
Well,
I'm hearing
it all
that,
comes down to jurisdiction, right?
yeah, basically,
If you're in public, if you're, you know, as we say in the UK, if you're on the highway meaning public land,
hmm
there's one set of rules. But once you're in a private establishment, there'll be another set of rules. So it's
Yep.
just a matter of jurisdiction, what you're doing.
Yep. And
You have the freedom to do what you want when you're in public, but once you're inside, then other rules apply.
yeah,
I mean, that's generalizing it, but that's kind of how it works. That's the way I see it.
Rasclot said that they were pretty much open in California, but they had to shut back down due to the cases. But yeah, pretty much no one wears a mask here. Oh, um, a lot of people were actually wearing masks here, but like I said, that's largely due to the fact that if you're going to the store to get, you know, groceries, you're not gonna be able to get the groceries unless you're wearing a mask. So now I've seen some people take their mask off after once they're in. Um, but I will say this, Rasclot, we're more open than California ever was, though. Like, um, open for y'all is like closed for us. And what I mean by that is this. No, I'm serious. Like okay, so I've told you this, Tommy. My girlfriend, she loves Disney. Okay, so because she loves Disney, we have passes to Disney World. All right. Over here, Disney World has been open since July. I think July 11th is when they opened back up because they closed Disneyland, which is in California, and Disney World the same day. Like their last days of being open were the same day. All right, and that was sometime in March. I don't remember the exact date, um, but I remember the reopening date because me and my girlfriend talked about whether or not we were gonna go. But it was July 11th. Disneyland, which is in California, was supposed to reopen on, I believe, July 17th. Okay, like a week or two before they were supposed to reopen, they announced that they were going to remain closed and that they'll be reopening, but they just
Sorry, I
can't
saw
give
that
a
crash.
date. Yeah, it was a bad one. But they here's the thing: Disneyland still isn't open. Not only are they still not open, they're projecting that they are not going to open until summer. And that, so if they don't open until summer, that means that they will have been closed for over a year. Because they closed in March. Summer is technically starts like in May. So, you know,
Okay.
2 months prior to, it's like a year and 2 months. And that's if they open early summer. And here's the thing: the state of California is what's keeping them from reopening. They're saying, okay, in order for y'all to reopen, first off, y'all have to put all these measures in place. Which I can tell you right now is not going to be a problem because that's what they did here. Like even without being told that they had to put all these things in place, they went ahead and did it. So that's not the problem. The problem is they also said that California has to be in a certain phase. I don't remember the phase number. They have to be in a certain phase for them to reopen, and that's something that they don't have any control over. You know, that has to do with like what Rasclot said, like the cases are going up, so they went back a phase. So even summer is not guaranteed for them, because if summer comes and they're still in phase 2, or they're back to phase 1, or any other phase that is not the phase that they needed to be in order for them to reopen. That's what I'm saying. Like Florida, like I understand what Rasclot's saying. California did open up, but their version of open is what we would consider to be still pretty closed, because we got pretty much everything. Bars are open over here. You know, they just have limited capacity. You know, like a lot, pretty much everything has the ability to be open. If it's not open, it's because either A, it went out of business during the months that they couldn't be open, or B, is because the owners have decided not to reopen because they're trying to adjust. You know, they're still trying to adjust. Because my understanding is that, like, and I understand it's Disney we're talking about, but my understanding is that they spent $7 million to do everything they needed to do to bring everything to post-COVID standards in order to reopen. $7 million. Keep in mind, they got a lot of ground to cover. You got like 15 resorts, 4 parks, and a whole bunch of other shit. You got to make, all those stickers they put on the floor saying to keep 6 feet apart. All that plexiglass that they got to put up. All that shit costs money. So maybe some of these smaller businesses don't have the money to put all that stuff up right away.
Yeah, I kind of think that we're being micromanaged with this saga, because here's the way I see it, right? Let's say it kills 0.5% of the population, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. That's what it is. But the thing is, the significant number of us on the fucking planet have been exposed to this. So I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound morbid. The weak and the vulnerable that have died, they've died, right? So we've got less weak and we've got less vulnerable. So that means that the number of deaths should start coming down, even if there should be a trend that you can follow. You know what I'm saying? Because once you eliminate a significant number of people that are weak or whatever it is, then what's remaining? A stronger part of the population.
Yeah.
So to me, the dynamics of this whole situation should be changing. Because they're all saying that the hospitals are at maximum capacity. Oh my God, I don't believe that BS for a second. I won't even get into it, so I'm not even going to go off on a tangent. But to me, the whole dynamics of the situation should be changing in a way rather than us being managed.
Yeah. I agree with you. I do think that that's what's going on as well. It's they say that fact is stranger than fiction sometimes. If you've ever, I don't know if you've ever played Fallout, and I'm probably thinking about this just because I'm here on the PlayStation. But have you ever played Fallout?
I haven't, but I'm aware of the game.
Okay. In there, they have these things called vaults, and basically like the day that the world quote unquote ended, because it was like due to a big nuclear war, a bunch of people went to these vaults. And the thing is, in order to be in a vault, you couldn't just show up and be like, hey, I'm here because I don't want to die. You had to actually like pre-register with this company. So if you showed up and you had registered, they would let you in the vault before shit went down. Well, really what those vaults were an experiment. There was one vault where they had all men, one woman. I feel bad for her. There was one where they had all women, one man. He was probably happy. There was one where it was a singular guy. He had nobody. All they gave him was a box of puppets. And the whole Fallout lore is actually pretty interesting. Like, supposedly the guy with the puppets went crazy, and he eventually left the vault, and he walks around with a puppet on his hand, and he's like killing anybody he comes across because he's just crazy. Um, you know, I know this isn't on that scale, but it kind of reminds me of that. Like, think about it. We're told that we can't get too close to each other. You know, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, we what was it? I think it was the 50s is when the baby boomer thing happened. Where our generation is going to be the opposite of that. Because think about it. If everybody's afraid to get too close to each other, you have a lot less people like college kids. They're probably a lot less. I shouldn't limit college kids, but just people in general. Like, you're gonna have a lot less one night stands, surprise pregnancies. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that have been going on for decades. That stuff isn't gonna be happening anywhere near as much because it's like because everybody's afraid to get near each other. And I really think it's more of a divide and conquer tactic. That's my
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah, 100%.
Well, that certainly changed the tone of the conversation. But yeah, I mean, divide and conquer. Like, like, I've seen people who before COVID they were like really extroverted. They were going out all the time. They were having a good time. They're always hanging out with friends. Now they invite friends to come over, but they got to stay on the front porch the whole time. You know, or a lot of time, like, we just had Thanksgiving. I know people who just did not do Thanksgiving. Period.
I didn't.
Do y'all celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK?
Only if you're American or Canadian.
Well, then that explains. See, I know it's an American holiday, but it wouldn't surprise me if other countries were
Did
like,
the Canadians do it?
I think they do, because I don't know him, but there's a Canadian guy that I'm cool with, and I think he was celebrating, so I think they do. I don't know. Sean Newton, are you there? If you can, he's not the one I was talking about, but I know he's Canadian. If you're there listening, which I'm pretty sure you're not, but if you are, do y'all celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada? I'm pretty sure that will fall on deaf ears.
No, John's only drawn to the fight, to the drama.
Oh yeah, if I get John Boxing on here, I'm sure that'll get his attention. I like Sean. I don't have any problems with Sean, but I do think that Sean needs to kind of spend a lot less time talking about the other guys.
I can sum it up in a few words.
What?
He needs more hobbies.
I mean, I don't want to assume he doesn't have a life or anything. Like I said, I actually don't have a problem with Sean. I actually like him. I think as a person, he's a cool guy. I just think he puts way too much energy into debunking other channels. And there's nothing wrong with debunking other channels, but pretty much everything he's saying now is stuff that he's already said 300, 400, 500 times before.
But I will say this, if he's good as a reference point.
Yeah. I'll give him that. At the very least, he does serve that purpose. Because if you want to find out who said what at what time, he puts it right in the title.
Why are you driving on the wrong side of the road?
Because I'm a free spirit. Right now, I'm not even driving in the road. I'm driving in the bushes. No, Tommy, I remember the first time.
I'm trying to think how I can bring in this line. Go ahead. It's almost as if you're trying to be your own leader.
Who, me? When I'm driving? Yeah, that's what it is. That sounds good. Trying to be my own leader.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna say who it is, because if I mention him, he's gonna be like, "Oh, you clout chasing. You're always talking shit about me," even though I rarely talk about this person. And it's not JFL, so this person was like, he's basically equating making wear a mask to slavery. Now, I personally don't like wearing the masks, but I do it because if I don't, I can't buy shit. I can't go places if I don't wear the mask. But it's not slavery. Like he's like, oh, you could be a slave and wear the mask if you want to, and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't nothing new. Like, Tommy, I don't know how it is over there in the UK, but here in the States, a lot of places for decades had a sign at the front door saying no shirt, no shoes, no service. So
Okay.
that wasn't slavery, but this is. Like, granted, I know that, okay, no shirt, especially women, gotta wear a shirt because, I don't even have to go into that. But, the no shoes, that's not that big of a deal seeing somebody's feet. But a lot of places, you can't buy anything unless you're wearing shoes. So, why was that not slavery, but this is? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like, don't get me wrong, I have my own conspiracy theories about this virus, but I don't equate masks to slavery.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he's a connotation's being used rather than the full meaning. Because you can infer different meanings of words, but just because something sounds similar doesn't mean it matches the word that you're using.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, by his implication, obedience is a type of slavery.
That's the thing, though. You always have to obey to an extent, though. Like,
So we're not actually using terms in their fullest here, so it's hard to describe. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, Tommy. But by any chance, do you know the person I was talking about? Okay. I figured you did because you're in hangouts with that person. You're in a lot of hangout groups with that person. And yeah, like I
would say, yeah, there's a few, for sure.
Yeah, I made like, I think in total I have 2, maybe 3 videos where I address him. And he's like, you're always talking shit about me. I'm like, you're like in less than 0.5% of my videos, man. Like, I ain't always talking shit about you. And one of them was a joke. Huh?
I'm starting to feel a bit left out. You haven't made a video talking shit about me yet.
Well, that's the thing, though. At least one of them was a joke. And he took it to heart. Which I find very funny because then he tells Get the Smoke that he needs to learn how to take a joke. And I'm like, you have no business telling Get the Smoke that he needs to learn how to take a joke because I made a joke video about you Like, you could tell I wasn't serious because I was talking like freaking Doc Holliday from Tombstone. I think that was the first time I ever did that too. Was when I did that video addressing him, and he's just like, "Oh, you're always talking shit about me," and I'm like, "Get over yourself." Like, you got like what, 1,200 subscribers. I'm not clout chasing you. Like,
All right, all right. Let's change the subject.
Hey Tommy, it's my channel. I talk about whoever I'm gonna talk about. Okay? Nah,
Oh
nah,
yeah.
you're right.
Oh yeah.
I should change the subject. I should change the subject. Cause now I'm giving away too much info. But yeah, like me, I don't equate the masks to slavery. Like, to me, it's just an annoyance. Um, it can make. And I live in a place that has high humidity. When the humidity's high, it does make it harder to breathe. Because you're already trying to breathe through the humidity. Now you got a mask on your face. And then you're in the Florida sun where it's hot as hell. And it doesn't make it pleasant, especially when all you're trying to do is go to the grocery store. But it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. I mean, with all the with the way this year went, like, oh, I just really hope that things change soon. Like, this year was a weird one for me, and I'm sure for everybody else as well. Boxing basically paused for like 4 or 5 months. We didn't have any fights. A lot of fights got canceled. Fortunately, some of them ended up happening later on down the line, like Dubois and Joyce and Loma and Lopez. There's still some that we're waiting on, but wasn't White and Povetkin, wasn't that postponed too, and then ended up happening?
Was it postponed? I think it was. Yes, it was. Because I remember White giving Povetkin stick or something. Must have been that.
Yeah. White's
when's the rematch actually scheduled for?
I don't know. I thought I heard January, but
it's got to be next year.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and go White. I really do think that he just got caught slipping. I think he can. I don't think Povetkin has his number or is necessarily the better guy, but we'll see. But one thing I will say is this: White always got a problem with somebody. Like you were talking about how he was giving Povetkin shit. And I like White, but I gotta keep it real. White, he talks a lot of shit, and sometimes the shit is not warranted.
He does. I'll be honest, I didn't actually like him in the beginning. I actually really hated him because I thought he was just a mouthy prick. But then I really started to admire him by just the way that he was taking the hard fights.
Yeah.
So he won my respect. And he has actually calmed down a bit. But I will say one thing. Eddie Hearn didn't really promote him, not properly, not in my opinion, because he was always in AJ's shadow. So he was always there as an alternative, not an alternative, he was there, Dylan White was there as a domestic interest, in my opinion. I don't think Eddie Hearn actually thought that White would be as successful as what he is. That's the feeling I've got. And he's done a really good job of promoting himself, so if you look at it from that point of view, he's done amazing well. He's still being an annoying little prick. Don't get me wrong, but he's done a very good job.
Yeah. Well, the thing that stuck out to me is like he accused Povetkin of trying to run away from the fight, the rematch, because he tested positive for COVID. But my understanding is that that's not something that he could just say, "Oh, I got COVID." I think that's something that was like reported to the WBC, and not by just Povetkin, but by like the test itself. Like they saw the actual results, and it's like it's like I said, I like White, and I do think he'll win the rematch. But if the guy already knocked you out, in his mind, why would he need to run away from you? I mean, unless he really genuinely thought it was just a lucky punch. Which I'm not gonna go that far and say it was a lucky punch.
No, it wasn't. It was a great punch. That's what it was.
Povetkin's just somebody you can't get caught slipping. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, you can't nap with Povetkin.
Yeah.
I think his White was on his way to getting him out of there.
Yeah, because he had just knocked him down. And that could be it too. He could have knocked him. Yeah. Because he could have knocked him down and said, "Alright, I got him. I'm going to get him out of here." And then, he got caught slipping. He got a little too confident. And it cost him. Because, like, Lomachenko made the same mistake against, what's his name? Linares, and he got put on his ass. But Linares is no Povetkin as far as power punching is concerned. Some guys you can afford to make those mistakes. Povetkin, I don't think, is one of those guys. So, and I know he got knocked down, but he has a pretty good chin, because if you knock him down and he's able to get back up and he's able to knock you out, I'm sorry, but I say that's still a good chin. Like, a lot of people, a lot of fans, they give these boxers shit just because they were knocked down. But, I mean, yeah, he got knocked down, but what did he do once he got knocked down? Did he get back up? Did he win the rest of the round? Did he knock the other? Did he, take one to give one? Like, what was the issue? What ended up happening? But we'll see. We'll see if... I mean, who knows? Maybe Povetkin just has his number. I'm interested to see the rematch. And if Povetkin beats him, I mean, he beats him.
Yeah, but if Povetkin beats him, then he's always going to be living in AJ's shadow.
I mean, he may be living in AJ's shadow for the rest of his career already. Unless he could do something drastic.
No, I don't. No. If he can get, White's best bet is try and fight Manuel Choi.
And why do you think that?
WBA regular. Because he has the WBA regular.
Okay. But I'm saying then where does he go from there? Because if he's the WBA regular, he's still going to be in the shadow of Anthony Joshua. So he would have to do something after that.
Yeah, but the point is, once you've got a strap, then you become known as a champion or an ex-champion. It's better that than being a contender or a journeyman or whatever term you want to put on it. You can say that someone's a champion or an ex-champion. Sounds a lot sexier than anything else.
Yeah. And I agree with you on that. He'll definitely get more respect. He'll automatically have that status of, because Wilder had that, even though he beat fuck all for it, he still got a lot of respect for being a champion. Because, I mean, people can say whatever they want. Like, it's not hate, it's the truth. Wilder beat Jason Gavern and then he beat Bermain Stavern, who won that title as a vacant title. Now, I mean, it is what it is. Wilder doesn't have control over how Bermain Stavern got the title, but the point is this: a lot of people want to say, "Oh, AJ's a paper champ because the people he fought, it was either for a vacant title or all these other different situations." Okay, fine, but keep the same energy because Wilder did the same shit, except he only did it once, whereas at least Anthony Joshua did it multiple times and unified almost the whole division.
Hold on, backtrack. He only unified once.
I didn't say he unified. Did I say unified multiple times?
You said he almost unified the division.
Yeah, and what I meant by that is he had the 3 belts. He had 3 out of 4 belts.
He had the 3 belts, but he only actually won 2, in my opinion.
So which one's the one
fighting for a vacant title?
Okay, so
it was, I don't actually know which one it was. See if Buzzcut's on the chat. It's when he fought Klitschko. Somebody put their belt on the line. Their vacant belt on the line. That's it.
Yeah, when he fought Klitschko, it was Klitschko wasn't a champion. The belt, the WBA belt was vacant, and when he beat Klitschko, that's how he got that belt. So Klitschko wasn't the champion.
And to me, that's not winning a belt. That's being gifted a belt.
Okay, I mean,
and the same way Evander Holyfield was gifted his 4th world title. Sorry, not in the same way, similar way. He was just awarded it. I can't remember what the technicality why, but he was awarded it. But he never even fought it.
But my point is this: he doesn't have control over the situation, because remember, that's because Tyson Fury vacated.
Oh no, I get that, but I'm not criticizing him per se. I'm criticizing the system. So in my mind, he's unified once, and he's fought. Who did he fight that was actually a legitimate champion in my eyes? Parker.
Yeah,
Parker was the reigning champion.
Yeah,
Martin wasn't. He just won the strap.
Yeah, it was his first defense, and it was against Joshua. And then even the way he won the belt was questionable, because I remember Glaskov, he had injured himself in, like, was it the first or second round? Or something, didn't he? Huh?
Did he injure his knee?
It was either his foot or his knee, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Martin had knocked him down, and it was the way he landed on it. Like, he hurt himself, and then he tried to fight through it, but they ended up stopping the fight. And I remember Precise saying they should have went to the cards, which, I mean, it would have been the same result. Or I think he said it should have been a no contest, which that wouldn't have been the same result. But I mean, I can kind of get that. But they gave it to him, I guess, because he's really the one who caused the injury, you know. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. Like, Martin didn't defend it. Really, he was unproven up to that point, and but he won the IBF in that fight, and then he goes and he gets beat by AJ. I mean, in my opinion though, he was trying to legitimize himself, which I don't have a problem with. Like, if you won the belt in...
Oh, no, I have no problem with that either, because if you think about it, Lennox Lewis had to do the same thing with the WBC.
Yeah. Yeah, because that whole situation with Riddick Bowe.
Oh yeah, in the bin. That's right, trash.
Yeah. No, I know when I hear, it's funny because when I hear you or anybody else from the UK say in the bin, I know exactly what it means. Like my it's like my brain automatically converts it. So like I
It
don't
automatically converts it.
what was that?
Translates it.
Yeah, it's like it
Yeah, your
translates
brain
it.
translates it
Yeah.
from bad English into
It does it.
American English.
It's not bad English, but and it does it in the boxing librarian's voice. I'm just kidding about that last part. Actually, no, it would have to be an
I'm
American guy.
respectfully not saying anything because it's your live.
Oh, I appreciate that. Because, yeah, he is my friend, and so I appreciate that.
Now when it's my live,
Oh,
different
yeah.
story.
Well, I mean, I can't tell you what to do with your live. That's.
Oh, you can try.
Yeah, but I don't see the point in doing that. You know. And I give you you gave me the respect. I'm going to give you the same respect,
Yeah, just banter, that's all.
Yeah. So Tommy, are you gonna be doing any? Okay.
Hmm?
I was gonna say, are you gonna be
I
doing
was
any
just gonna say.
content or lives anytime soon?
I am. I'm just waiting for some hardware to come from Amazon and eBay. And then once we get the testing done, then I'm hoping it'll run all by itself. But we'll see. We'll see. We've got some goals.
Yeah. Well, if anything you want to test, if I'm able to help, feel free to reach out to me.
Oh yeah, I'll have a few things. Oh, did you manage to order that OTG cable yet?
I haven't, and you know what? It's called an OTG.
The real cheap. Yeah, just OTG. I can show you after the stream or send you a link or something. Oh, hold on. As I'm on the laptop, I'll do it now. OTG. Is it cable or adapter? Yeah, it's just probably like $5.
And it connects to the phone.
Yeah, so whatever USB type your phone has, if it's a regular or Type C, that's the one you need to get, and then obviously your gamepad will plug into the big USB part of it. It means that you'll get less lag, or you won't get any lag that way, if that makes sense. If you're using something wireless, you'll always have information lost.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
But
right
if
now
you're
I
using
don't
a
have
wired
any wired.
connection,
I don't have any wired controllers. You know what though?
how do you charge your PS4?
I was about to say.
How do you charge your PS4?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. You know what? That's not true. I can always hook up the PlayStation controller. I thought you wanted it done with the Xbox though. But it doesn't matter. PlayStation,
Sorry,
Xbox, I got them both.
no, run that by me again.
Originally, when we tried
No. I'm trying to think. Hold on a minute. No, this is so that you can do it when you're not at a laptop. This is so that you can do it on your phone.
Oh, the other way I would have had
Follow me?
to do it on my laptop?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember I had connected my Xbox One controller to the phone, and then we weren't able to test it because it was something like with your settings, it wouldn't allow me to connect or something, and and we haven't
Mm-hmm.
tried since. So, but you've
Yeah,
been
so
helping me a lot,
that's
so
the
I
cables
definitely want
again.
to return the favor.
Sweet, sweet. Just bring on the deliveries. I mean, I can't even stream my game footage at the minute because what I actually want to do is I want to do some recording and then start uploading that. But I'm going to do that on my other channel. I think I'm just going to start afresh on a new channel. So yeah, that's the plan. Is anytime I go live or anytime I play the game, I'm just going to go live. But it doesn't mean that there will be. I'll be interacting with the chat at the beginning. That'll be further along the lines. I just want to get the habit of just sharing the gameplay.
Tommy, I'm gonna go silent just for a minute, alright? I'll be right back.
Oh, yep. Bada bing. You're a funny guy. Funny fucker.
I'm back.
And we back.
Yeah.
I gotta check out the message in the chat from Bada Bing.
Oh, okay, hold on, let me see. I wonder. I had to go and check the audio. That's funny.
Well, actually, do you wanna know what kind of mic I'm using?
What kind?
I'm using the headset from an Xbox 360, a wired mic.
Oh, okay.
And these things are cheap as well.
Yeah, that
20.
makes sense that they'll be cheap, and they do work. It's funny because they still work with the Xbox One, and technically, well, it depends. I guess it depends on the headset, but a lot of them work with, work with the Xbox One and with the PlayStation as well. Like the one I start, because remember at the beginning of the live, I was using an actual gaming headset, but it was going in and out, so I switched to these earbuds. But that's actually an Xbox One headset, so maybe I should look online and get or even like in a GameStop and see if I could find a 360 headset.
Have you had problems hearing me? Because earlier on in the stream, or at the beginning of the stream, I said a few things and you didn't catch it.
I was just
I'm trying to
ignoring
work
you.
out
No,
maybe
I'm just kidding. I don't. What was it that you said? No, I'm just kidding. But
I
what was
can't
it
even
you
remember
said?
what I said though.
Oh. I
No,
may
no,
have
no.
not.
It's not even a case of.
I
I'm
was
just
gonna
trying
say I
to work
probably
out
didn't hear you.
maybe my mic was in it. Could have been that my mic was facing upwards and down. You know the way you can flip it up and down.
Yeah.
Maybe that was what it was. Anyway, forget I said that.
Oh man, I want to tell you about this real quick, and I think this might be interesting to anybody who may be listening. But last night, I forget why I was on Twitch, but I stumbled upon like it said there was a stream, and it caught my attention because of the name of the channel, and it was called the Bible Boys Church. And I'm like, people are doing church on Twitch? So I go in. This was the funniest thing. I was like, this. It reminded me of like an Adult Swim type skit kind of thing. It was like, it was so weird, but it was funny. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I couldn't believe what I was listening to. Like, some guy, and I guess they do it through Discord, but some guy, like, he jumps in on the Discord and he's saying, I want to make a complaint about your establishment. Um, Hold
Okay.
on. When Red is not on, your mic sounds fine, Tommy, but when Red is on with you, you have a deep echo. Oh, okay. Like, I think he means like the reverb. You know how you
Right.
get a little bit of that reverb sometimes. Um,
Yeah. I don't even think I've got the YouTube app even open on my phone at the minute, so it's not that.
well, I don't think he means like an actual echo. I think he's talking about reverb. You know how reverb kind of
Oh,
sounds like
I
echo, but
yeah.
it's very slight. I can't turn this around, the camera. But anyways,
Do you know? Can I quickly make a comment?
yeah,
You need, we need to get more than just me and you on here to actually test how it sounds, because we're not really debating. We're giving each other space to talk. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? So we're not really testing. We're not really testing it properly yet.
that's true.
Something to
That's
think
true.
about. Yeah.
This was the first step. I just have to
Mhm.
find somebody else who's willing to do it, and we'll see if we can get at least
Scott
one
should be
more
able to
person.
jump on, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think he's
Or
gone
if
right
he's still
now,
listening.
but
Yeah, I think he has.
because he hasn't commented in a while. But
We got 1-2 kid in the house.
yeah. But 1-2 kid, by any chance you have a PlayStation ID?
Do you want to join our gang?
Just so we can see our gang.
The PSN gang.
It doesn't have to be for long, but we just want to see how this does with 3 people. Hold on, what'd he say? Oh, you do have a PlayStation ID? If you have a PlayStation ID, if you could jump on, it doesn't matter if it's through the app or if you have your PlayStation on. But I just want to see how
Do
this
it through your phone.
how this does with at least one more person.
Yeah, just explain to him about the app if he doesn't know.
I mean, basically, you download the
Just,
PSN app, you sign in, and then you're gonna have to send me a friend request. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the easiest way. If you send me a friend request, then I can accept it and then add you to the chat, and then we can just test it real quick.
it's gonna
to
need your
see.
ID though.
Yeah, well, I'll give it to him. I mean, it's RGM _boxing.
You give it out on YouTube?
Oh, I gotta show you my.
You're brave.
I should have did this on Call of Duty. Now that I think about it, because Call of Duty, I actually made an emblem, and it's not spot on, but it looks pretty close to. It looks pretty close to my avatar on YouTube. But I don't think I can switch. I think if I switch games, it's gonna end the stream. That's the thing that's because I would have switched games. Hmm?
Is there a way to go to the home screen but keep this in a smaller screen? Does that make sense?
I know what you mean. As
like you
far
do
as I know, there's
when you're
not.
watching TV, but I don't know. I don't know. Is that way in theory you'd still be connected?
Like the snap
But otherwise,
feature that
that's
used to be on Xbox.
I, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, Xbox used to have a feature called Snap, and you used to be able to have
I've got
like.
a blue screen at the minute, by the way.
Yeah, it's because I was trying something.
Okay.
I don't know if he tried to add me or anything.
Well, I can't check.
I'm gonna check.
Thing is, it's probably going to take him a few minutes to download it and sign in.
Give me a few. Yeah.
You're talking about the best part of another 5 minutes if he's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on it. He's on it.
We're waiting.
Oh yeah. But what I'm at, have you worked out a way where you can kick me yet?
I haven't. Let me see if I can kick you because you're getting on my nerves. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But let me see if there's a way. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be blue for a minute because I gotta go to the. I had to leave the game. Let's see. Yeah, there's still just mute. View profile. Hold on, let me go to view profile, see if maybe there it'll give me an option to do it.
But technically, if you unfriend me, that should kick me out.
No, I'm not doing that.
But that's pretty extreme.
Yeah. I don't see an option. I think the only way I could do it is if I leave. If
Okay,
I
let me search for it then. Okay, so kick from PS4 chat, is it?
Yeah.
How to kick someone from a party. Okay. Hold on, I need to mute the other YouTube feed.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll pause it even. And then I can speak. Turn the audio up. Did you get that?
So I go to leave party.
No, hold on. Go to hold on, let me go back one more. try to go through these as fast as we. Okay, where are we? Go to the party, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Hold on, I've one people. Oh, you know what I'll do, Red? It's just easier if I send this to you.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll watch it real quick. Because then I'll actually be able to
Where's
see
the
the
kid
screen
at?
too. I'm assuming he was showing it, right?
He was showing it, but he was going through it real fast. Yeah, there's a few, you have to go, yeah, there's a few more menus to go through, but well, it's easy to mute someone. Once you get them on mute, then second thing is just to kick them out if you need to.
Did you share it already?
Oh, sorry. My bad. One sec.
No, it's all good.
What? I can't sign into Google for some reason. I'll try my Firefox. Oh, you know why? Because I'm on my work computer. I'm such an idiot. I keep on thinking I'm on my personal lab, and I'm not.
I can look it up.
Hold on, Red. No, I can do this. I can do this. No wonder I was getting block pages. Okay. If you just put in how to kick someone from PS4 party, it'll come up, because that's the first half of the line, and in brackets it's got the best method, and the video is only 1 minute 50.
Hey everyone, this is
Yeah.
Tim from Your Six Studios. Today in this video,
That's
I'm going to
it.
show you how to kick someone out of your party on the PlayStation 4 Party Chat. So let's go ahead and jump into the video right now.
Copyrighted music. Just kidding.
If you hold down the PlayStation button on your
No,
controller
you'd be right
and
there.
go to the quick menu, you'll be able to see the people in your party under this menu. If you go to Party Privacy and then switch your party from public to private, people won't be able to see your party listed under the party menu. And then you can go ahead and prevent people from joining your party. So make sure it's set to private instead of public if you don't want people joining. Now to kick someone out of your party, you can go to their name under this menu and press options or select their profile. It will only give you two options. It won't give you the option to actually kick them from your party. What we will have to actually do is go to party screen. It'll pop up this screen right here. And under here, we can actually go to their name. It'll bring up another menu on the right hand side. And this will give us the option actually to kick that individual out of the party or mute their chat. So let's go ahead and kick them out of the party. Do you want to kick this person? Let's press OK. And that person is kicked out of the party. To prevent any more people from joining, go ahead and switch your party from public to private.
Okay, so I think I tried that though. Let me go to the party screen. I go to you. He said to press options, but when I press options, it doesn't do anything. But I did take a different path, so let me try the path that he did. Alright, so party. you can adjust the audio mix here. Okay. Add players.
You started something?
Yeah, just an option there that I didn't realize was there. Alright, go to party screen. Yeah, so when I go to party screen and I press options on your name, it doesn't do anything.
Yes, but I started this call, didn't I?
That might be it. Alright, so let's do this. I'm gonna
What was
leave
it
the
you said to me? Call. What was
Huh?
you said to me at the beginning? Call me again.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave. That's funny. I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna start my own party, alright? Alright. See you in a little bit.
Yeah, ready.
Alright. Tommy, are you there? Let's see. Okay, there you are. Tommy, say something. Tommy, you there?
Regulus, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, so let me go to the party screen, see if I get the
So if
option.
I joined your party, is that what I've done now?
Yeah, but it's still not giving me the option. When I press options, it doesn't give me the option. Let me try on my phone.
Did you actually start a party?
Yeah.
Okay. So it means I joined your party. Because I'm not used to this generation. That's why I'm asking this
Yeah.
question. I think 1-2 is left just hanging. 1-2 kid, what's happening? Where's the support man? And we got two people.
It's me.
Echo City.
Just give me a sec. Okay, I muted myself on that one.
No, you haven't. Still on.
No, but it wasn't the echo. I muted myself. I didn't leave. I left now.
Yeah, but both your mic icons were going at the same time when you were speaking, and I was getting an echo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, I don't see a way, like, I I go to your name and I press options, and it doesn't do anything. How old is that video?
I've shut post on
It is like a year and a half old. I wonder if they took that away.
Yes. Or they changed how you do it.
Yeah, that could be
No, I
it.
don't see how. No, it doesn't make any sense because you must have the discretion to get rid of someone from your own party.
I know that it doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to make sense of it. It's so weird.
So can you actually like if you wanted to, not saying you do, but could you get your webcam in there as well?
You talking about on the PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get I mean, not a webcam, but they make a camera
Not
for the
webcam, not
PlayStation.
camera, sorry.
They make a camera for the PlayStation 4, and you're able to do that, but it wouldn't be... The only one that it would show would be me. It wouldn't show you or anybody else who is on the panel. If you... D. Jefferson used to go through on his PlayStation 4, and he did it that way where he had the camera, and like if you look on my stream and you see like where it has that fist, instead of that icon being there, it would show whatever I had, my cam there instead. It's just a small little square though. It's not like it's not a lot, it's not, it doesn't, you don't have the ability to adjust it or anything like that. Just gonna see if 12Kid ever sent me a request or anything. Hold on. I think so, hold on.
Yep.
Alright, so now let me invite him to the chat. Gotta give it a shot. Alright. I think he's still connecting or something.
Yeah, it takes a while actually to connect.
Oh, really?
Do you actually have to approve it? Yeah.
No, you don't have to approve it, but maybe it just takes...
Hold on, I see Rumpel. I see someone else here.
Yeah, I think that's 12Kid. But I don't see him in the voice chat though.
Okay. I think he might. Ask him, is he using an existing account or has he created a new one?
Oh, he's definitely created. Yeah, he's definitely using an existing, cause
If he's existing, this should work.
yeah, cause it.
Has he sent you a message?
He hasn't sent me a message, but I know that I know he didn't just create it, because when I look at the profile, it has like a score for your games. He has a 32. So that means he's definitely not one he just created.
Just okay.
but I don't see any messages. And you know what? That might be my bad because maybe he's not there anymore. Because it took me a while. Because I don't know where to find the stuff. I'm still fairly new to how, I'm an Xbox guy, so like navigating this stuff is not always the easiest for me. But I do know where the options button is on my controller, and it doesn't give me the option to kick you. Like I press options, and it doesn't do anything when I go to your name.
Is the chat we're in, is it private or public at the
moment? I think it's public. Maybe that's that. Maybe I had to set it to private. Hold on.
No, I think if you set it to private, it's going to be harder to get in. If it's public, it should be easier.
Well, I'm saying to kick you. I'm saying to kick you, I think, maybe...
Oh, okay.
Alright, so just give me a second. Where did he go for that? Alright, that's not it. I don't see... Hold on, let me watch that video again real quick. And 1-2 Kid, if you hear me, I didn't ignore your requests and all that on purpose. I'm just not really good at PlayStation yet. Video. Are you kidding me? I got an ad.
Copyright.
Studios. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to alert and go to the quick menu. You'll be able to see the people in your party under this menu. If you go to party privacy and then switch your...
I don't see party privacy.
Then go YouTube, or not YouTube, Google, put in PS4 party privacy. Okay, go to account management.
Alright. Just a sec. I know where that's at. Alright, account management.
PSN privacy settings.
Okay.
And then feature you want to change. No. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong settings. The search, I figured I said that, sorry. Set default party settings to copyright. Oh, okay. This might be something to do with the update from, I can't even go into the website and switch computer. Oh.
1-2 Kid, is that you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, alright. Yeah, we just wanted to see how it sounds. And my bad, I didn't see the...
Why?
Huh?
Good. I was going to do it at cheesy countdown.
Yeah, I'm trying... I'm
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got OTK in the house.
Yep, the 1-2 Kid. Say something real quick, 1-2.
What's up, yo? 1-2 Kid. Go ahead and subscribe to Tommy Temper, to Regular Ability, and my TGC partner. Go ahead and subscribe. Check the channels tab. On the pop. And my TGC partner.
All right, it sounds good.
Are you using a headset, 1-2 Kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
does anybody hear an echo when I talk?
I don't.
I don't hear, but on YouTube I did.
Ah, okay.
Okay, let me.
And whenever Red got off, like when he took off for a minute, I could hear you clear. As soon as he got back on, you could still hear you clear, but there was definitely a reverb in it, or an echo in it. So I was just like, it sounded cool as shit though. Because Red is real monotone, so it sounded like he was praying, and it sounded like God was talking back to him. That's why I hit y'all on the other account. I was like, Tommy Temper shit sound divine. Like, so.
Was that you?
Yeah, he's
my
about
other
to
channel.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you got another channel. Sweet.
Yeah, it's just got a couple. It's just got the same videos. Video. In case something don't fly on one, I know it'll fly on the other. You know what I mean?
It's not.
Because we had that issue. We had that issue with Red when I did the promo for Red. The Spotlight. They took it down on mine, but I had it uploaded on the other one, and they didn't touch it.
I'm gonna try something here real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I'm actually just looking at the settings on the app to see if we can make our voices different or better. Oh my god, there's so many options. Voice chat connection, auto. What is auto? Server only. Select auto to automatically use the optimal connection for voice chats. If you want to use connect via server connect, select server only. Oh, that
Can
would be something to look at.
Can y'all hear me right now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I think the reason why the echo was happening is because I was using those other headphones, which I only switched to those headphones because this mic wasn't working. But if this mic is working, I'd rather use this one.
It sounds clear.
Yeah, you're a lot louder. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd move your mic a tiny bit away from your mouse.
Yeah, that's what sucks on PSN though. My Beats don't work on it. With my Beat headphones with the mic, it just don't work. So I had some Skull Candies. I put them in and everything worked. I don't get it. It works on YouTube. It just doesn't work on my on the PSN. I'm like, for what this shit costs, man, this mic should work all the time.
Yeah, damn right. I'm using an Xbox 360 headset at the minute.
Oh, okay.
Still works, man. Still works.
Yeah, I don't get on much. I get on sometimes. I just do that Call of Duty shit though. That Modern Warfare.
Which one's your jam?
Modern Warfare. Warfare.
Which one? The first one?
The one that's on the PS4. The
I
latest
think, yeah. That's the is that yeah, they remastered 1 or 2, didn't they? Or
I think they did that.
Now.
I got that.
See,
that's what I play on the PS4.
Okay. The first Call of Duty game I actually got into was Modern Warfare 2. And to be honest, it's still my favorite Call of Duty game, even though it's heavily flawed. It's probably I spent so much time on it that I know the guns, I know the maps, I'm so familiar with the game. When I play something else, I'm always trying to work stuff out. At least with Modern Warfare 2, at least I know exactly where I am at. But it's a pretty good game, though. I like it.
Yeah, it is. I think I got that one too for the PS3, but I haven't played it in a while because of the hackers, man. That shit.
Yeah.
That shit's so
Yeah, that's
bad,
one thing.
man. And then when you don't get
Hackers
a
and quick
hacker,
scopers.
when you don't get a hacker, you got people spawn trapping, and then it's just like, oh man, here we go. So I'm like, I don't care for that.
Because I think the mic stopped working again.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
'cause
abandoned this.
I was like, can y'all hear me? And I wasn't getting no responses. But real quick, I just want to clear some confusion. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, 1-2 Kid, your favorite is the not this latest Call of Duty that just came out, but the one that came out before it. It's called Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Tommy. Here's the confusion. There was Modern Warfare, there was Modern Warfare 2, there was Modern Warfare 3, and then Infinity Ward, which is the ones that made the Modern Warfare line, because you know there's a couple studios that make Call of Duty games. They for a couple of their turns, they didn't do Modern Warfare. They did one that was called Ghosts. Then they did one called Infinite Warfare. Then they went back to the Modern Warfare, but they didn't. But here's the thing: they didn't call it Modern Warfare 5 or Modern Warfare: The Reckoning or something like that. They just called it Modern Warfare. So essentially, there are two Call of Duty games with the same exact name, but they're two different games.
Damn, so we're talking about two different things.
Yeah, so the one he's talking about is the PS4 Modern Warfare, but there's the original Modern Warfare, which also got remastered.
Yeah.
So, you got all these Modern Warfare games, and when somebody says, "Oh, I like Modern Warfare," then you're like, "Okay, which one?" I'm talking about Modern Warfare. Okay, so not two or three, but we still have two different Modern Warfares. You know what I'm saying? And three,
Man, I'm
if
still waiting.
you're waiting
I'm
for
still
what?
waiting on that boxing game to come out, man. I want a boxing game.
Yeah,
Oh, do you?
same here, same here. But it
Well,
does seem like this
I'm
works
working
good
on
with
that.
3. You know what, Tommy? When I went to add 1-2 Kid, you know what I saw?
Mm-hmm.
It said that I could have up to 16.
What? Well, I did it from a Google search,
Yeah.
and that's what I saw.
Let me just
So-
double check, but it said 16. So let me go back to the
But you know
party.
this is going to be great for pre-fight build-ups. You know, when we're all in a party waiting for a fight, and we're all watching it as well. This is going to be golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool because you don't have to use up your StreamYard hours,
Yeah.
and you could have a background.
Yeah, like something other than just some pictures. Which the pictures can be fun, but we've been staring at pictures for long enough. It's time to get some actual action going on in the background while we talk boxing. Which is why we need a boxing game.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Oh, you're doing it.
Yes.
Are you on the PlayStation 4 right now? 1-2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm multitasking.
Because you could do this from the phone too.
Right. I had the app on. But I forgot my password.
Oh. Well, you can always
So I
make
was
another. You can always make one just so you could do
Double
this. Like if
account.
you want to be on the go. Um, that way you don't have to be tied to your controller or the PS4.
I got a long ass cord. That thing's sitting right there. I'm just walking around.
And you know what else they have, 1-2 Kid? I think one day I'm gonna use it. I'm probably gonna regret it, but I think I'm gonna use it one day, at least once. They have where the speech will wait, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, they have where the text to speech will actually